Good morning and welcome. It is Wednesday, the 9th of February. This is Flat Cap Callum. I'm hoping you're all very, very well. All right, today we've got a busy day. So we've got a full deck of bets. I really like the racing today. I wasn't sure what I was going to find, and I've gone and had a little look, and I really like it. That might not mean anything in terms of the results, but I found quite a few horses I really liked, and I've had a whole short list that I've cut off. So I'm putting up today the best ones I've got, and I like what I've done. There's no guarantees that it goes the way you think it's going to go, so we'll see how we go with those. We've got a full deck of bets, £20 bet today. We have got golf bets that will come after that as well. And just a little plug that I'll be putting out part 2 of the Cheltenham series later on today as well. So, review of yesterday, bets, golf. That's what we've got. Okay, so yesterday it wasn't as bad as the previous few days. So we didn't quite make a profit yesterday. We had a small loss, but excitedly we had a couple of winners, which we haven't had for a few days. We could do with a few more places at decent prices. But yeah, I'll celebrate a small loss because it's better than a big loss, which we've had the last few days. I guess the important thing to say is the channel is still in profit. So if you followed every single bet that we've placed in the last 4.5 weeks on this channel on all sports, you would be in profit. If you just did it on the horses, you'd still just be in profit. If you did it on golf, you'd be in profit. The tennis, we don't mention anymore. All right. So yesterday's results. We had the Win Lucky 15. So first time we've done a Win Lucky 15. First leg, Cheng Gong, went from the front. No one wanted to go from the front. If you watch the race, it was a reluctant leader and it got pegged out and came second. So if the race panned out a different way, it could have gone a different way. It didn't go ours that way. Choral Work looked like a real good thing and nicely won. 4-1 we had on the channel yesterday. Eros was a bit more. It was the riskier one of the four. Didn't quite get there. It was staying on at the end, but not quite there. It got placed, but not for a win. And then Soaring Star comfortably won, and that drifted to 11-4. So we had a 11-4 and 4-1 double on the lucky 15s. So that got a £16.50 back on there. And then we had the high risk each way Trixie, which none of them were really anywhere near, so disappointing there. But as you guys know, I put out these big prices sometimes, and in the long run they'll pay, but on most days they don't pay. And yesterday wasn't a paying day for those. And then in the each way lucky 15, we did the second one. Well, I say the second lucky 15, but the each way one. Karakoram did get 6th, which Sky Bet paid in the first leg. Then Cracking Find, the read-up doesn't do it justice. If you watch the race, it was up there, and it looked like it was going to be a 2-horse race, and then something went wrong with it, sort of just before the third fence, and it dropped like a stone, and in the end, it sort of pulled up, but then the jockey fell off, so it was technically called an unseat, but it virtually pulled up, so disappointing there. Karat was one place out of the placings, and we had that at 22, so it didn't go our way on that bet. Mosterlin went from the front too early and then completely faded. So we had one place in that lucky 15 and got back 42 pence for that. So I made it £20 on yesterday, 16.92 back. So a £3.08 loss is how I've recorded that. Okay, on to today's bets. As I said, I like the racing today. You don't often say that on a Wednesday. But there's some interesting opportunities, and I'll flag the horses, but also the races I think you should look at too. Okay, so bet 1, we've got 2 each way lucky 15s today. This is the first one. So these 4 races are the 4 races that Sky Bet are paying 5 places. Most bookmakers aren't. Sky Bet are paying 5 places at all 4 of these races. So for today, I kind of just looked at it, and it made sense to put these 4 horses together. So it was a bit of a Sky Bet special bet. You could put it on with other bookmakers, but it's marginal there. So we've got 115 Fairyhouse, Cavernous Cross 8-1, 407 Sedgefield Ashjan 18-1, 415 Fairyhouse Difficult Decision 18-1. That race, there's some really good unexposed horses in there, so I'm having a bit of a go at a bit of a price because normally I'd be quite happy with that, and it's more borderline because the quality of unexposed horses in there, but we've put it in because at a price it sticks out like a sore thumb. And then 8 o'clock Kempton, Fredbear 17-2. It's already been backed in a little bit. I'm interested to see how it goes over 2 miles. So That's our first lucky 15. So it's a 25p each way lucky 15. No extra singles. So that's bet 1. Bet 2. I really, really like bet 2. I don't want anyone to go crazy and lump on bet 2. But bet 2 is an each way lucky 15 again. Same stake, right? These 4 races, 2 at Ludlow, 2 at Fairyhouse, they're novices and maiden races. And I've managed to find 4 at double figure prices that I really like. I think these horses all do have a chance of winning, not just necessarily placing. You never can tell in these races because they've hardly run at all, and you're only going off smaller bits of information. I do like all 4 of them, and it was a really easy bet to assemble to put these in together. And I would encourage you go and have a look at those races. There's novices and maidens. Some people, casual punters will overlook them, but there's some really good value. So I've got 2 o'clock Ludlow, Blenkinsop 14s, 2:15 Fairyhouse Hammersmith. I've had a go at that before. I like it again today. 3:45 Fairyhouse Mystical Patsy unraced. And it's a really funny betting market, that race. And I think that's the one I'm gone with a price, because I think the front horses are beatable, definitely. It's a very, very weak quality race. And if you look through that horse, it's like mother and grandmother. If we're going to get into family history, I feel like, who do you think you are now? Anyway, it's family history, all basically won over 2 mile hurdle races. So it's definitely got it in the pedigree. So we're going with that. Unraced though. 3:30 Ludlow, Moon Cornet 20-1. I like that bet. It's a nice looking bet. Don't overstake it. I've done it in the way that I've done it. I've put it at equal value at the bet before, because on the other bet we're getting extra places. But I think the prices here are all really, really good. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, bet 3 is probably the weakest bet of all the bets, all the 4 bets we've got today. So it's a bit of the what else I had that didn't fit in the other bets kind of a bet. Being really honest with you. So the 207 Sedgefield, Ali Starbert, I really think that's a solid place chance. Definitely got a chance of win. Sometimes you've seen I've done these bets where I'll put 4 horses all to get placed. It's a good price for a bet like that. But I've prioritised the other horses today, so I've wanted to keep that one in. 2:45 Fairyhouse, another one of these maidens, and Cool Cullen is the one that didn't make the cut in the other bet. Not just on price, but also on amount of other runners. So it's 9-1. We put it in this bet, and then 5:30 Kempton Park. It's because I know I can't say that name. Sequain we'll go with 11-1. 4 places on Sky Bet they're paying on that one. Most bookmakers are not. 25p each way Trixie we've gone there, and then a 50p each way single just on the bottom one. £3 bet. Okay, last horse racing bet is a nice simple win Trixie. I like all these 3. On a different day, if we didn't have the each wayers, I'd be putting on, maybe looking at singles on the bottom 2 and increasing the stake a little bit. But in the context of what else we've got today, I wanted to prioritise the value in the each way horses, but there's value here in the win bets. To bet for 222 at Fakenham, Dubai Guest, it's come in the odds a little bit, 7-4. I was looking at 9-4 last night, but I'm still happy with 7-4. Then we've got 2 at Kempton, 4:55 Flaming Dawn unraced. It's one of those ones where it's a weak race, where I think an unraced horse could definitely look at it, and the pedigree of that horse is cracking. And then 7 o'clock Kempton, Eves 3-1. Eves, Ives. I think that's eyes. We're going to go with eyes, not Eves. Eyes. Either way, you'll find the horse. You know what I'm talking about. 50p, win Trixie. That's what we've got for today for those horse racing bets. Okay, horse racing. If you're not interested in golf, please turn off now. If you want the golf, please stay on. Okay, so golf bets today. And I just was going to flag, because I know not everybody's into golf bets, or not everybody is used to doing golf bets. And it's hard to track, particularly last weekend when there was 3 tournaments. The best app that I use to track golf bets is Flash Score. So some of you may have used Flash Score before, but on Flash Score you can go in. So today I will go in, I'll go through those golf tournaments that I'm going to show you, and I will star as a favourite those players. And then every time you go into the Flash Score app, you can literally just look at favourites, and it will break it down. It'll give you the one screen. It will give you both tournaments and where your players are at. So it's a helpful way of tracking. So top tip there for those who don't use that. Okay, this is our golf bet for you today. I'm trying to get that maximum screen power. So 2 tournaments, Ras Al Khaimah. So this is the same course they played on last week, and a lot of these players are playing on it again. So it's really interesting. It doesn't happen that often when you've got two weekends in a row where they're playing the same course. So we've gone top bet there. Lee Hao Tong, 28-1, did brilliantly last weekend on the same course. I think of the people that did particularly well on the course, he's the one that's the best value for me. So I've put him in at 28s. Ross Fisher, we had him last week and we're going to go again. 90-1, I think it's a really good price. So I'm going on the basis that he played well last week and didn't get up there in the kind of the top 10, but we're going to go again. And then the one at a bit more of a price, we've got there Hurley Long, German player. He had a decent enough go around it last week and he finished brilliantly. So I'm going to have a little punt on Hurley Long on there. So 6 places I've got on Sky Bet, and the normal caveat here, the horse racing bets is where I prioritise Sky Bet and why I use a Sky Bet account for this specific channel. You will find better prices probably and better paying in other places. So I've put these on through Sky Bet. These are Sky Bet prices, but you will get better prices if you look elsewhere, and you might get better place options. So that's what I've got for that first tournament. And then the second one, Waste Management Phoenix Open, 8 places we've gone with here. And then we've got 4. Daniel Berger, 25-1. Andrew Putman, 80-1. I think that's the best value of that one for me. Max Homer, 66-1. And then KH Lee. There's quite a few golfers who have the surname Lee, so make sure you get the right one. South Korean chap, KH Lee, 125-1. So what we've got there, the top 2 in each tournament, so that's Lee Hao Tong and Daniel Berger, we've got 75p each way single. The other 5 golfers are 50p each way singles. And then you'll see at the bottom I've added a little bit more complication because we did it the first week, we didn't the last couple of weeks, and we're going there again. So I'm spurred on, we're going to have a little bit of a go at the top 2 I've circled there on both bets. So that's Lee Hao Tong, Ross Fisher and Daniel Berger, Andrew Putman. We've got 25p each way doubles to make it an even £10 for our golf bet. Okay, that's what I got for you today. Cheltenham videos coming out later. I hope you all have an excellent day and all of our horses do amazingly well and we come back tomorrow and celebrate. But you can't tell. It doesn't always work like that. Either way, I'll be here and we'll chat about it then. Thanks very much. Cheerio.